Okay, for this project, you're going to need some type of handle. I got mine off an old bag that I found at a resale shop. You don't have to use a handle like this. You can make your own handle too. But I'm just using, like, it's a bamboo handle, and it's got the rings, and then it's got a longer handle to attach, which I may not use. I'm not sure. You can also buy handles on eBay and Amazon. Or, like I said, you can make your own handle. Any kind of handle you want. 2 handles, 1 handle, 1 long, 1 short. It's completely up to you. And I'm going to be using Red Heart Super Saver for this, which is a medium worsted 100% 4-ply acrylic. You don't have to use this brand, but any type of 4-ply yarn will work. And the colors that I am using are, I saw this and I fell in love. Brown's my favorite color. So, Platoon. And this one I love, Coffee. And this one I love, Cafe Latte. And this one is Buff. So I'm just using 4 different colors of brown, but you don't have to do that. You can use any colors that you want, or you make it one solid color. And I'm going to be using a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. Now this stitch is done in a multiple 4 in case you want to use it for something else, or you want to make your bag bigger or smaller than mine. But I started out with a chain of 80. Now once you get your chain of 80, without twisting your chain, kind of just follow it down, we're going to slip stitch into our very first stitch. Just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to put 1 single crochet right back into that same stitch. And now I'm going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around this big ring. So what we're doing is we're making the bag, we're starting from the bottom up. So at the end, we'll sew it together. We'll put it together and sew it at the bottom. But for now, we're just going to be working in rounds. So 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around until you get back to the beginning. When you get back to the beginning, you should have 80 stitches. Okay, once you made it all the way around and you counted and you have your 80 stitches, that's 80 stitches, not counting this chain 1. That chain 1 that we did in the beginning does not count as anything. So what we're going to do, if you have 80 stitches, not counting that chain 1, you want to slip stitch into your first single crochet. Not this chain 1, but the single crochet. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to continue with this color now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to put 1 double crochet back into the exact same stitch, like that. And I'm going to put 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So that'll be like having, we got 3 double crochets in a row. And that's what we want. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, skip 1, and put 3 double crochets in a row again. So remember, you're skipping the next one, and then put 3 double crochets in a row again. So there's 1, 2, and 3, like that. Now we're going to chain 1, skip 1, 3 double crochets in a row again. So this is pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, skip 1, 3 double crochets in a row again. And we're just going to repeat this pattern all the way around until we get back to the beginning. Chain 1, skip 1, 3 double crochets in a row. And notice my fingers are dirty. Sorry about that. It's not dirt, actually. An ink pen busted open on me. And I was scrubbed them and trying to get the ink off before I did this tutorial. And I thought that you wouldn't be able to see it, but you really can. So, just to note, it's not dirt, it's ink stain. So, and then you just chain 1, skip 1, and then 3 double crochets in a row again. And that's what it starts to look like. And you want to repeat that back to the beginning. Okay, once you made it all the way around, you should have 20 sets of these, or 20 groups of these 3 double crochet sets, groups, whatever you want to call them. And you'll have 1 stitch left at the end to skip, and then you want to slip stitch into this first double crochet, not that chain 1, but the first double crochet. And now I'm going to tie off my yarn. I always tie off when I change colors, because if I don't tie off and I try to change colors, it looks really, really retarded. I'm not good at changing colors and making it look nice. So now I'm going to go to my next color, whatever color you choose to use. I'm going to go with this one. Now I'm going to start it. Here's my first set. Here's where we tied off, and here's my first set of 3. This right here is just a chain 1, so it doesn't count as anything. You want to start in the middle one. And what we're going to do is a double crochet 3 together, right in this same stitch. So what I'm going to do is chain 1. Okay, here's how you do your double crochet 3 together. You want to yarn over, go into the same stitch, and draw up a loop, and yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. And I'm going to do that 3 times total. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to yarn over, go into the same stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops. One more time, I'm going to yarn over, go into the same stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops, and I'll have 4 loops on my hook. I want to go through all 4 like that. And now I'm going to do a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to do this double crochet 3 together again in the same stitch. So I'm just going to kind of slide this one over. And now I'm going to yarn over, go into the exact same stitch, and drop a loop, yarn over, and go through the first 2 loops. Yarn over, go into the same stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops. One more time, yarn over, go into the same stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops, and then yarn over and go in the remaining 4. Just like that. Now I'm going to jump to my next set of 3, and in the middle one, I'm going to do the same thing again. So I'm going to start with a double crochet 3 together. So I'm just going to yarn over, go right into that middle one, drop a loop, and yarn over and go to the first 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to do that 3 times. So again, yarn over, go in, drop a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2. One more time, yarn over, go into the same stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, and then yarn over and go through the remaining 4. Now I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do the double crochet 3 together in the same stitch again. So I'm going to yarn over, go in, drop a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops, yarn over, go into the same stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops. One more time, yarn over, go in, drop a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, and then yarn over and go into the remaining 4. Just like that. And I'm going to do that stitch in every middle stitch of each of these groups of 3 all the way around. So I'm going to go to the next one and do it again. So I'm going to yarn over and go into that middle one and do my crochet 3 together, double crochet 3 together. And hope I go through all 4 loops. Then I'm going to chain 3, and again in the same stitch, do it again. Just like that. Jump to my next set in my middle one. Going to yarn over, go into that middle one, and do my double crochet 3 together. Chain 3, and in the same stitch I'm going to do another one. Just like that. So I'm going to repeat that pattern. That's what it starts to look like in every middle stitch of the group of 3 until I get back to the beginning. And when I get back to the beginning, I should have 20 sets of these double crochet 3 together sets of 2, I guess. I don't know what you want to call them, but 20 of these sets. Like here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So keep going all the way until you get back to the beginning. Okay, I've made it all the way around, and now to end it, I want to slip stitch into the top of this very first double crochet 3 together. So it's just like, grab and pull it up for you, like right there. You should be able to see it really good. So right there, right into the top of it, like that. Slip stitch. I'm going to change colors again, so I'm going to tie off, and I'm going to go back to my original color, or the color that I started with first. And now I'm going to kind of repeat that row we did down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in this chain 3 space. Like here's where we left off. I'm going to start right here in this chain 3 space, and I'm going to start off by chaining 1, and I'm going to work 3 double crochets through that chain 3 space. So there's 1, 2, and 3, like that. Now I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to jump over here to the next chain 3 space, and I'm going to work 3 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, chain 1, jump over here to the next chain 3 space, and work 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, jump to the next chain 3 space, and 3 doubles. So this is the pattern all the way around. So it's pretty easy. Chain 1, jump here to that next chain 3 space, 3 double crochets. Chain 1, jump to the next chain 3 space, and work 3 double crochets. So I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around. That's what it starts to look like, and I still should have 20 of these sets of 3, and when I get back to the beginning. Okay, I made it back to the beginning, and again I'm going to slip stitch into my first double crochet after I chain 1 after that one. Make sure you chain 1 after your last one. Slip stitch into my first double crochet, not the chain 1 but the double, and I'm going to switch colors again. And now I'm just going to be repeating these 2 rows. So I'm going to start with another color for my next row here. And I'm going to start it, here's where I ended, in the middle stitch of this group of 3. I'm going to chain 1. Now I'm going to do my double crochet 3 together into that middle stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, and then yarn over and go through all 4. Now I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to do that again in the same stitch. So it's just like we did 2 rounds ago, just like that. Then I'm going to jump over here to the next set, and in the middle stitch I'm going to repeat. So I'm going to double crochet 3 together, chain 3, go back in the same stitch and do it again. Jump to the middle of the next one, do it again, double crochet 3 together, chain 3, and double crochet 3 together again. That. Jump to the middle of my next one and do it again. So I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around. And you still should have 20 of these sets of double crochet 3 together. That's what it's starting to look like. So I'm going to continue all the way around. Okay, I've made it back around to the beginning again. And to end it, I want to slip stitch into the top of this first double crochet 3 together. So it's right there on the side like that. And I'm going to switch back to my main color again. And I'm just going to repeat the rows we've been doing for as tall as I want my bag to be. So now I'm going to be doing this row again, the light color. So starting in the chain 3 space, I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to work 3 double crochets back into that space. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to chain 1 and jump over here to the next chain 3 space and work 3 double crochets. Chain 1, jump to the next one, and work 3 double crochets. So now you probably get the gist of how the bag's made. It's really pretty easy. We're just repeating those 2 rows, and you can change colors however often you want, however many times you want, however many colors you want to use. I mean, this color on yours doesn't have to be the same every time. You do it however you want. I mean, it's your bag. You make it look like something to reflect you. I like brown, so I'm making mine brown. So I'm going to repeat these 2 rows, just keep repeating them until I get my bag as tall as I want it to be. I will put a little brim on it though, and I'm not quite sure how many rounds I'm going to do, but I'll go ahead and get this finished real quick, and I'll let you know here in just 1 second how many total rows I do. Okay, I went ahead and did a total, starting with this very first row where we did 3 double crochets and then chain 1. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you can do more or less if you want. Now what we're going to do is sew the bottom together. So just kind of get it laid out here like this. I'm just gonna slip stitch it together. So I'm just gonna come down here at the bottom, and I'm gonna grab a stitch here and a stitch here, and I'm gonna pull my yarn through, and I'm gonna chain 1. Now I'm gonna go to the next stitch on this piece and the next stitch on the back piece and slip stitch. And then I'm going to go to the next stitch on this piece, next stitch on the back piece, and slip stitch. Now I'm going to do this all the way down. So just simply slip stitching it together. Stitch on this piece, the next stitch on the back piece, and slip stitch. And you just want to do this all the way across until you get to the end, and that's gonna close up the bottom. If you wanted to use a yarn and yarn needle, you could do that, or you could even single crochet it together. But I'm gonna go ahead and get mine slipped up here at the bottom, and I'll just tie it off, and then we'll start working on the top. We're just about done. It's a pretty easy, quick bag. Okay, I got my bottom all slip stitched up, as you can see. Now I'm going to start at the top, and you can start in any stitch that you want. I'm going to start in one of these chain 3 spaces, probably along the corner here so you can't see the seam as much. What I'm going to do is chain 1, and I'm going to work 3 single crochet through that chain 3 space. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to work a single crochet into the top of this stitch, and you can see it right there. And then a single crochet in top of the next stitch. If you pull them apart, just that space right there. And then 3 single crochet into the next chain space. 1, 2, 3. And then a single crochet into the top of these 2 stitches. So you should be able to see it really good right there. And then right here is the next one. And then 3 single crochet through the chain space. 1, 2, 3, and then a single crochet in the top of these 2 stitches, so right there in that space and right there in that space. And this is a pattern that we're going to repeat all the way around until we get back to the beginning. 3 in the chain space, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 in the top of this one and 1 in the top of that one, just like that. So you just repeat that until you get back to the beginning. Okay, once you make it back around, you want to go ahead and put a stitch marker here. That way we know where we begin and where we end. And you should have right around 100 stitches now. Single crochets. If you don't have that amount, don't worry about it. As long as you're close, it's not going to make no difference now. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump over into our first single crochet. Not the chain one, but the first single crochet that we did. And we're going to single crochet into it. So what we're going to do is 6 single crochets in a row, and then we're going to do a single crochet decrease. So that was number 1. So we're going to do a single crochet in the next, number 2, and then the next, that's 3, and the next is 4, and next is 5, and then there's 6 in a row. Now we're going to do the single crochet decrease, which is worked over 2 stitches. So what we're going to do is go into the next stitch and draw up a loop, and then we're going to go into the next one after that and draw up a loop, and then we're going to yarn over and go through all 3 loops. So that was easy. That took 2 single crochets and made it into 1. And now we're just going to repeat that all the way around. We're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then single crochet decrease over the next 2. So go into the next, drop a loop, and the next one after that, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3. Now we're going to do 6 single crochets in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a single crochet decrease. Go in the next one, drop a loop. Go in the next one after that, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3 loops. So I'm going to repeat that pattern, 6 single crochets, and then a single crochet decrease. 6 single crochets and a single crochet decrease until I get back to my stitch marker. Okay, once you make it around after that last row of decreases, it doesn't matter what you ended here with. Like, I just go ahead and finish it out. I did the single crochet decrease, and I think I had 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches left, but whatever you had is fine. The stitch count doesn't really matter up here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same decrease row again. So what I'm going to do is single crochet into the next 4 stitches. I went ahead and move my stitch marker up, or in the next 6 stitches, I'm sorry. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then I'm going to single crochet decrease over the next 2. So go in the next one, drop a loop, and then the next one, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3. So 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then your decrease. So we're just repeating the row that we just did one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a decrease. So go ahead and repeat that all the way around back to your stitch marker. Okay, after you make it back around, again, just finish out however many, after your last decrease, just finish out however many single crochets you had. Move your stitch marker up, and now I'm just going to go around one time with a row of 1 single crochet in every stitch. So this, no more decreasing, just one round of 1 single crochet in every stitch until you get back to your stitch marker. Okay, I've made it back to the beginning, and what I'm going to do is remove my stitch marker, and I'm just going to go ahead and slip stitch into the next stitch, and then I'm going to tie off, and that's it. That's it besides the handle. That's all there is to this bag. Now it's up to you to decorate it however you want, and you can put however many, 2 handles, 1 handle, again, make handles, buy handles. That's entirely up to you. I'll probably decorate it with some beads, and then I got some zipper pulls that I've collected off the bags. I'll probably put that on there just for decoration. But that's it as far as the bag goes, other than the handle and the decoration, and I'll leave that up to you. And if you make this and decorate it, I'd really like to see a picture of it. You can post a picture on my Bag a Day Crochet Facebook page. I'll put a link to that below in the description box. And don't forget to check me out on Etsy and Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest and Twitter, all that stuff. I'll put links to all that stuff below. And until next time, have a good day.